Boom, welcome on to Putting on Sports. We're gonna be doing top 10 or NFL top 10 NFL power rankings. This is my NFL power rankings. I was going off the top 10 now. You're going to see from 11 to 32. I'm gonna be breaking that down later in the week. I'll probably do 11 to 20 or about 22, 23 tomorrow, and I'll finish that all the rest off on Thursday most likely. But from the number one team in the league, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I think until somebody, when you go back-to-back championships, Super Bowl, with a chance to be three-peat, the Kansas City will not be moved from my number one spot until somebody shows me they can beat them in the playoffs. Because they showed last year, the regular season doesn't mean as much as people make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I act with Dak Prescott, you would think the regular season means everything. But They won 9 games regular season, lost to the Raiders at home, and got embarrassed by a Raiders team they should not have lost to. They should have blown out the Raiders, and won the Super Bowl championship. Went to Buffalo and beat Buffalo. Went to Baltimore, beat Baltimore. Two of the hardest places in the NFL to play, and they beat both those teams. Who are supposed to be? I mean, like, come on, who had the better roster, Buffalo or Kansas City? Baltimore or Kansas City? Baltimore had the greatest defensive line in football and still couldn't beat Kansas City, right? So, shout out to Mike McDonald, go Hawks, but. It's just the Chiefs are until Sunday. Otherwise, in the play, like once you get to the back to back, until seen otherwise in the playoffs, they won't move my number one team. So every guys do this, the Chiefs will be number one. Number two are the Texans. Now I'm look. Now I said just like if you heard me talk about college football, they remind me of Oregon in the NCAA college football because they have some new additions. Danielle Hunter, Stephon Diggs. Like they got some new pieces. I think Kamari Lassiter. If he's not starting, he's playing a lot of snaps for them. He's a rookie, young guy. So they got a lot of pieces they're trying to work in right now, especially with Diggs. I think they need to figure out how they're going to do that because I will give the credit. Bears is they had one of the top defenses going in the last season. They've shown their defense is coming back really tough, but that offense is too talented, man, to not just score more than 19 points. I mean, they had too many drives stalling out. Joe Mixon, I forgot to add him. And then Juice Scruggs is out, so Jarrett Patterson looked like a weakness versus the Bears. They attacked him, right? So the offline, Juice Scruggs needs to be playing for Houston or they got issues. People don't understand how valuable the center position is. Look at Creed Humphrey and Patrick Mahomes, right? Look at Jason Kelsey. Those guys matter, right? Those guys, center matters because they make the protection calls all across the offensive line. And actually hearing centers talk about it, people don't know that centers have to be able to read coverages and all that kind of stuff, and read and be able to, just like quarterbacks almost, be able to understand what the defense is doing, what they're trying to do, and look at formations to be able to understand it. Because depending on how the defense lines up, will kind of tell you, okay, well, they may be blitzing from here, they may be pressure from here. If they get in this alignment, they're doing this. Or they get in this alignment, the D-line's going to slant here, or they're going to run a stunt here, or the linebacker's creeped up. But when we watch film, we know that linebacker's going to drop, and then both linebackers drop, and that corner's going to come when they do that. So they have to be able to, because they make all the calls and protections. Just like the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks can do it too, but centers do it too. That's why you see centers turn like this and look back. Look at any NFL team. They have centers turn, look back. Centers will talk over. Hey, they're talking. They're communicating. Just like the quarterback, they're expected to make calls and checks it off from line too. So that means a lot. And I think Jay Stroud talk about Juice Scruggs. He talks about him almost like a Creed Humphrey level player, where it's like he's everything for them off the line. He does a lot for them, not just physically but mentally. What he can do for them. And especially as a young quarterback, he's young too, but helping out C.J. Stroud in the calls and protections, he does a lot for them. So right now, Texans are my number 2 team. Now for a third team, hey, be respectful. Hey, come here. Be very disrespectful. Now for a third team, I have to say, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Todd Bowles, nobody believed in him, right? People were doubting him. And all he's done is a black head coach in the NFL. You know how hard that is. It's become another version of Mike Tomlin to me. A guy's going to win. And the best is yet to come for the Bucs, man. I think they got a franchise quarterback in Baker Mayfield. And for me, he has a chance to enter the elite quarterback. Because I only have 3 quarterbacks that are elite right now. To me, that I consider elite in the NFL. Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy. So I think, seriously, but like I said, those 3 names will be there the whole season until playoffs come around. Because that's how I view quarterbacks and teams and coaches. So, but right now, not to get too far into it and get too off track, but the Bucks are my number 3 team in the NFL. Again, it's 2 weeks in. A lot of these teams that are good haven't played each other, right? So we're gonna have to wait and see, what goes down. Falcons are gonna play the Bucks. They're in the same division. Like they're on my top 10. Just leaked it, but yeah. So, but it's just like they're gonna play each other, right? So when these teams start playing each other, then we're good to know. Right now it's hard because it's week 2, and a lot of these teams aren't playing each other, and they're playing suckier teams or teams that they should beat, right? Texans beat the Bears. Like that's not anything worth raving about. They beat the Colts. The Colts don't look very good right now. Like so we only have a small sample size of the Texans, right? So yeah, I will say this. I'll say this about Kansas City. Beating the Bengals at home. They're going to Baltimore and beating Baltimore. And my bad. No, my bad. They play both games at home. My bad. But to beat those two teams, Bengals and Ravens, two teams I can almost guarantee will be in the playoffs. That's just a lot. Week 1 and week 2, Marquise Brown ain't playing. You got Worthy, who's a rookie. You got a rookie left tackle, and Kingsley Sumatea. Just to get back on Chiefs, that just tells you how good of a guy. I said that's one reason why they won't be moving. Until seen otherwise, I just don't believe there's a number to the team better in the NFL right now until it really matters, because a lot of people beat the Chiefs last year, and guess what? They won the Super Bowl. So what does it matter? To me, they're the number 1 team until seen otherwise. But to get back on track, so rehash, because I know I got off track there. Chiefs at 1, won't be moving until seen otherwise in the playoffs. Texans at 2, got some kinks to work out, but they look, roster-wise, they look really, really good. Especially that defense is really, really good, right? Now, we haven't seen them against an elite quarterback, or top-level quarterback, like a Josh Allen, or even a Mahomes or anything like that, a Stafford, but we'll see how they look. But Texans 2, Bucks 3, Mayfield, Todd Bowles. That Tampa Bay defense is really good. Yaya Dabaye, Yaya Dabaye, Yaya Dabi, Antoine Winfield. Jamal Dean. Like, their defense is really good. I'm a big fan of what Tampa Bay's Vita Vea. You can't, how you run the ball on that guy. So that to me, the Bucks are 3 right now. My 4th team is Saints. There's a guy over there, and I'll just check his name because I want to make sure. And like I said, we're gonna see what the Saints do, right? We'll see how good of a mind this dude is. But I think he is the hottest name in the NFL right now. Is, to me, Clint Kubiak, right? For the Kubiak coaching family tree, right? If you know Gary and that rest of that family, they're one of the when it comes to coaching families, they're one of the top in the whole NFL history. So look, the Saints look really good, right? Now they've only played one real team in the Cowboys, and it's early in the season, right? So we've seen this before, where teams will, when teams don't know what kind of much about your offense and stuff like that, and you're hot, yeah, that's cool. But once teams, what I'm trying to get at is, what teams start picking up on what you're doing, can you adjust? How, once teams start figuring out and seeing more film on you, especially come late in the season, getting ready for playoffs, when they're playing the Eagles next week. So we're gonna find out how good, and even though the Eagles defense really isn't all that, so I don't know how much that will say. But as the season goes on and teams start getting more film, and teams start adjusting to what you're doing and picking up on your tendencies, can you adjust? How do you look then? But right now, like I said, it's 2 weeks in the season, so not a lot to grade off of. We haven't seen a lot, but right now I think I have the Bucks. I do have my bad, not the Bucks. I had the Saints at 4. I have 5 as the Bills. I think that's a bunch of ragtag dudes. I think it just feel like they got a bunch of dudes off the street and put them together with Josh Allen at this point, and they're still finding a way to win. They're a first-class organization. They know what they're doing. So right now, Bills at 5, and then Steelers at 6. Justin Fields as a backup walks into Atlanta and knocks off Atlanta with only field goals, no touchdowns. Shout out to Chris Boswell. He's a stud. I just think that tells you everything about Justin Fields and how good of a quarterback he is. At the end of the day, this guy was defamed in Chicago. All right, y'all are finally seeing on national TV that, look, you need an offensive line to be a high-level quarterback. It takes that, right? Okay, so I think you need some real coaching. At the end of the day, Ryan Tomlin is one of the best coaches of this generation, and he's all of them a coach, flat out. So never had a losing season for almost 2 decades now. So question whatever you want about him, but that's winning, right? And that's what he gets paid to do. Justin Fields to me is going to show he's going to have a Baker Mayfield where the Bears gonna look back. Well, I don't want to say they look back because I believe in Caleb. I'm a big fan. I think he's a chance to be in that Mahomes level category. Tom Brady. I think he has that kind of potential, but I think the Bears are gonna say, man, we could have we had a quarterback and we didn't even know it. Even though I think it's gonna end up working out for them. Justin Fields is a really good quarterback. I think this is Baker Mayfield. I think you're going to see more and more. I think Bryce Young, I did a video on that yesterday. So go check that out. But I said the same thing. Justin Fields is going to end up being a franchise quarterback. I'm telling you right now, Justin Fields is going to end up being the franchise quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, flat out right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. The dude knows how to play quarterback. He got defamed in Chicago. DJ Moore said it. DJ Moore at least said it in an interview last year or 2 years ago. It was he said. They were asking what does he think of the quarterbacks coming out like this? It was last year. The quarterbacks coming out with it was last year, I think. Last year or 2 years ago was either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jayden Daniels. So he was like, "What do you think?" Now, like I said, I don't know what year this was. I don't know if this was last year, year before, with Stroud and Bryce Young, or Williams and Drake May. I'd assume it was last season. Because that's when things started really getting bad, and everybody's talking about them with the Bears. So I'm assuming this is last season. So when they asked him about, what do you think about the Caleb Williams and the Drake Mays, like they coming out, what do you think of? He said himself, I don't really think too much of him. I think the guy we got right now is better, and he was talking about Justin Fields at the time, right? So when a guy who's practicing with him in the film with him, in the weight room with him, working out with him, training with him, practicing with him on the off season, during the season, in practice, is saying that, and everybody knows Caleb Williams and Drake May and all those guys. This is a lot, right? So I think Steelers got a franchise quarterback, Justin Fields, and the NFL's going to find out real fast how badly they missed out, I think, on Justin Fields. Because that guy's, like I said, to me, and I always say he was the second best quarterback in that draft. He should have been a second overall pick to the 49ers. And a lot of teams are going to regret not drafting him or trading for him. I'll just say that right now. Just like they did for Lamar. And then so Steelers at 6, at 7, I'm going to have the Vikings. Brian Flores is a defensive mastermind. He's in that category for me. The stuff he does with that defense in Minnesota, and they don't do it with marquee players. They also have some marquee guys, but they're doing it with a lot of guys that they've drafted, that he's evaluated, and that coach that was evaluated. And they're taking them, Ivan Pace Jr., Josh Metellus. They're taking these guys and turning them into they're taking guys. They're taking them and they're turning them into. He's taking chicken scratch and turning it into. She's taking chicken crap and turning it into chicken scratch, right? So that's my thing. He's taking nothing. He's taking nothing, and he's taking lemons and turning it into lemonade. Like at the end of the day, he's a mastermind. I think he's in that category. So when you have an elite defense, that can win, especially with a backup quarterback like Mayfield, a quarterback Darnold, who's not elite, but he's going to be very good. That's how you win games. That's going to keep you in games. That's going to allow you to compete with the best of the best. So right now, I think the Vikings are 7. Now 8, the Falcons. They weren't there yesterday for me, but now they are. Walk into Philadelphia. The first time they beat Philadelphia since 2012. That they walked into Philadelphia and beat them. I was 6. I'm 18 now, freshman in college. That's the last time they beat Philadelphia, 2012. That was 12 years ago. That's insane what they did. First of all, I just think the fight, right? The whole game, they just kept playing their game. They kept playing their game. They kept playing their game. They never got too high or too low. Kirk Cousins, again, game edge. He's been there, done that. That's why people are like, why they draft Penix? Stuff like that. Let Penix play. If Kirk, everybody's like, he doesn't look the same right now. He still looks hurt. He ain't moving the same. Penix won't play because if you played Penix last night, you're not winning that game. Right? Atlanta wants to win now. Right? They want to win now. That's why they made the moves they did. They want to win now. You don't pay Kirk Cousins big time money unless you want to win now. And they want to win now and they want to win big. So you don't win that game without Kirk Cousins. Just because he's a veteran and he's been there and he's done that and he's seen it all. Being able to get guys right position, knowing the play calls, seeing the coverages. He had one play on the 4th down where pocket's collapsing. He has an old lineman falling down right in front of him. He steps in the pocket, throws it, completion, 4th down. They end up scoring like the next play to Jahan Dotson to a touchdown. That's a veteran quarterback play, right? Late game, the moments never too big for he didn't at this point like used to. Everybody talk about he can't show up in the big moments. I think he's done it now. It's just regular season, so I'm not gonna put too much stock into it. We'll see in the playoffs if they make it, what they can do that because that division looks to be tough, right? With even the Saints, the Bucks, and the Falcons, That's going to be one heck of a division. I'll say that right now. If they continue on the pace they're at, but we'll see. But man, he's showing something. Like I said, he's four. Everybody talk about he was 0-9 on Monday Night Football. He's 4 of his last 5. He's won 4 of his last 5 games of Monday Night Football. National TV, the whole country watching. You don't play on that unless your 2 really good teams are always playing on Monday night, right? So that's a marquee game every Monday night. Come out that Sunday. So for him to do that, I think as his career, he's starting to become more and more of a true winner, especially in prime time. The moment's not too big for him now. Everybody calls Kirkio with the chains on, so he's almost embracing it. He's embracing the lights, the bright lights being on him. It's no longer is he collapsing. You know what I'm saying? And remember, it's not something he's really used to because he's from Michigan State. He's a low-round draft pick. He never had all that pressure and all that eyes on him. Now he started embracing it, even though he's getting older. I think as he's gotten older, he started embracing that, understanding, and just living in the moment, understanding, like, bro, this is what I'm made to do. I can do this. I can do this. I'm here for a reason. I'm in this league for a reason. It's about, I want to win. I'm going to win. And I just think, as we've seen his career, he's gotten better and better as the years have gone on. So I just think, shout out to Kirk Cousins, because that was one heck of a game last night. Falcons are at 8 for me. Now for me, at 9 is the Eagles. They lost last night. They're a second Barkley catch away from the Falcons really being on this list, and for them to be even higher, probably even top 2, top 3, top 4, right? We all know that. I think for me, Philadelphia is the line of scrimmage for them. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Mekhi Becton, Trenches when you ball games in the playoffs. Trenches when you ball games versus a really good team. They didn't have AJ Brown. That's going to be a concern for me. But they have plenty enough. Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith is about as good as it gets. I'm just going to tell you that from running back to tight end to receiver and the whole league. They're going to get better than that when you talk about one receiver, one tight end, one running back. I'm just going to be flat out. Unless we're talking about Houston with Schultz, Mixon, and Diggs, or Adele, or he's still one of the Texas receivers. Like, that's just how good as it gets. Like, that's right there with Houston, and I think it's better, honestly. So they're going to be fine. I'm not concerned about that. For them, it's going to be Hurts looks a little slow, I'm going to be honest. He looks a little slower than he used to be. Ken Hurts, he doesn't have to be as a quarterback, to me, you got to be able to distribute. You cannot chase the highlight plays. You cannot chase the big plays. Check downs, distribute, be a distributor. Especially in an offense like that, we got Goddard, Barkley, Smith, all those guys in that offense. And when A.J. Brown comes back, A.J. Brown, you got to be a distributor. They're going to make the big plays. You get the ball in there. Bro, I probably leave the ball to Devontae Smith back there, 4 or 5 yards. He's going to take it and probably score. Like that. I mean, that's how he's going to make a big play out of that. These dudes are big plays waiting to happen. You got to get the ball in their hands in space. You don't need to chase the big play. They're going to make the big plays happen. Whether they throw it to them behind line of scrimmage, you give them a quick screen, or you give them a jet sweep. They're going to make big plays happen. So for Jalen Hurts, I think it's just going back to being the distributor and not chasing the big play. And I think understanding that, look, I just have to if I do my job and make the right throws and not force anything, we're going to be just fine because I don't have to. It's not like they're lacking something. They had everything that he just needs to be like how Tom Brady was. Tom Brady was a really elite distributor. He didn't force it anywhere. Whoever was open was getting the ball. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't chasing Randy Moss deep down the field. Like, I want to throw to Randy Moss. I got to get to Randy Moss. He was like, look, I know if boom, Moss double, I'm going to Edelman. Like, if it's Gronk, I'm going to Gronk. He had, so if it's like, if it's Amendola, I'm going to Amendola. Right? If it's Burkhead, I need to go to Burkhead. Like, if it was James White, I got to go to James White. Like, he was very good at distributing the ball and saying, like, I just got to get the ball to my playmakers and they're going to make plays. I think for Hurts is understanding that and that he doesn't have to be a superhero all the time. Like that, those days are done with, right? It's not Oklahoma anymore. So that's my thing on the Eagles. But if they can figure it out, I think they'll be fine. Right now, like I said, 2 games, so I'm not a lot to look at. They're 9 for me right now. Now for 10, I think it's the most underrated team in the NFL, and nobody's giving them credit. Right now, I'm going to say it right now. Mike McDonald is the best defensive mind in all of football. He's an Andy Reid of NFL defenses. I think he's got the defensive mastermind. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to go on a little thing about Seattle. This Seattle team right now, like, Mike McDonald almost exactly reminds me of Pete Carroll. Defensive mind, that's a genius. Potentially, probably best in the NFL at defense. And then you got defense. You got Witherspoon. You got Spoon. You got Rick Rowland, the Big Spoon. Julian Love, Tyrell Dawson, and Jerome Baker, and then you got Byron Murphy, who I'll say as right now, I think is the next Aaron Donald. Leonard Williams was very underrated. Boye Mafe is becoming one of the elite pass rushers in this league. Now we'll see, right? Only Denver and New England. Strength of schedule hasn't been strong. Playing Miami, but no Tua Tagovailoa. Again, not a very strong strength of schedule. But as I say, it's a very early in the season. But Mike Macdonald, I mean, if you just look at the way Seattle's won, taking note, it came down to they were up on Denver up 6 on our own or on our 30-yard line, 40-yard line in Seattle. They had to get a third down. Deion Smith throws Tyler Lockett, they win the ball game. If they don't get that, Denver has a chance to go score a touchdown and win the game on extra point. Right? So they win the game. Then they go to New England, go to overtime after being so go to overtime and win the game there. So D is finding ways to win because it's not going to be pretty. I think Mike Macdonald having that down already and being able to have his team never lose composure for 4 quarters, and then having a guy like Jesus, who's been, like I said about Kirk Cousins, that's why Sam Howell isn't playing. You don't want those guys playing. Veteran, been there, done that. The moment's not too big for him. He's been there, he's seen it. It doesn't worry him. There's no pressure to him. It's just like, okay, I want that. Give it to me. Let me go win the game. Let me go do this. Let me show how good I am. Let me show how good of a quarterback. Let me show you. When the big ones come up, I'm gonna step up. Right, almost like Kirk. Right, as those guys have gotten older, they've gotten better. So to me, that's. I think Seattle is the top 10 team in the league right now, and the fact that this is they haven't even gotten to the word that, to me it looks like the offense is still a long way to go. Same thing with defense. I think special teams looks good, but I think Seattle is just what Mike Macdonald was able to do early on in his career at Seattle, only 2 games in, and understanding. Look, he understands you got to stop the run, you got to run the ball. New England rushed for 180 yards. Versus Seattle. You know what Mike Macdonald said? That's on me, right? How many coaches in the NFL go to their family and say, look, today was on me? Even though we won, especially after a win like that. How many coaches go after a win and say, look, that was on me? I mean, you would have thought we lost the way he was acting. He talked, they had interviewed him on a radio show, or like they talked to him. Jerry Jones is coaches do radio show talk. I know Sark at Texas does it. So, to do that after a win and say, look, we got to be better. 180 rushing yards ain't going to cut it in this league. And we got to go, So, his mindset and the way he talks, even when he wins, it's almost like he lost. To him, it's like, he said, it bothers me. That bothers me. That was wrong. And he said, I have to be better. We have to put players in position to exceed. It's just we got the fundamentals, we got to clean up, but it's not anything major. But we got some stuff we need to clean up going into the next week because he understands every week in the NFL, you got to reprove yourself. You never are, he said it, you never are proven in the NFL. This guy's mindset is NFL genius. I'm telling you right now, he's a reincarnation of Pete Carroll all over again. I think Seattle's about to go on another 10 to 15 year another decade. He's about to have another decade of dominance with this guy right here, man. I think Seattle had a home run hiring in the offseason. There's not many coaches better than Mike Macdonald right now. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. There's just not many guys. I'm sold on this guy. I think he's gonna be a Hall of Fame head coach. I think when we look back and say, man, this is just a younger version of Pete Carroll all over again. He just a modern scheme, all that kind of stuff. I think he's gonna bring Seattle back to dominance, and I think Seattle's gonna go on another 10 to 15 years, or maybe 2 decades of dominance. This guy's young too. He's only 36. 20 years from now, he'd be 56, 60. Pete Carroll's coach of those so. I mean, this dude's young. He's one of the youngest coaches in the league, right? So, I mean, Seattle's probably has another 2 decades of dominance, flat out. Honestly. And if you don't believe me, like I say, he's the best defensive mind in the NFL. It's really not close. He's just a genius, man. He's an Andy Reid of NFL defense. Now it's going to take time. Look how long it took Andy Reid to win the Super Bowls. It takes the right quarterback, or for him, it's going to take the right amount of players to get it right. But once this dude gets it going, man, Seattle's going to be a force. You already get nobody, ask any NFL player in the league, one of the places they don't want to play, especially in the playoffs, it's Seattle. Flat out, it's Seattle. Seattle's one of those places you don't want to play in the playoffs because it's going to be horrible. And then they got elite defense on top of that. Man, I just tell you, when this guy gets it going and rolling in Seattle, they're going to have to be reckoned with, because it's going to be hell for everybody else in the NFL. And I just think that, man, once he gets his personnel right, it's going to be off to the races for him because, man, and he already has a lot of talent. But the more he gets to settle in and get used to it. Right, he's only 2 games into being an NFL head coach. So the more he settles in and gets comfortable, I think Seattle's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. And I just think this year, man, I think they look really good. I think a lot of people are doubting them. But I don't see why. With Geno Smith, I could see them And I, I would say Geno Smith is a better. I would say Geno Smith is a better. Geno Smith is definitely a better um, quarterback than Jared Goff, but I can see him having a Lions type run. But they may go make a Super Bowl run, and they will get the job done, right? And they have a big year. And but I can see us having a Seahawks Lions type run. People are underrating them, but look what that dude did to the 49ers last year. 5 picks for Brock Purdy. Sean McVay came on a Sean McVay had told somebody, or I think it was at a press conference. He was like, "Look, when we played the Ravens last year, yeah, the points look really good, and we look really good versus the Ravens." But he's like, "Man, that's the best defense I've ever played in my life. As a coach, I've never played a defense better than that as a coach." That's what Sean McVay said. Right, so for him to say that, McVay, who's one of the best minds, also one of the young. Y'all see, like, he may be the McVay. I can't say he's a McVay of defenses or Andy Reid, just because, like, just like McVay, he's very young. Like, he could be going for the next 20 years, which is crazy because him, McVay, and Shanahan are on the same division, which is insane. That division is insane. The NFC West is insane. I'm trying to tell you, they're the best division of football. Them and the AFC, I think it's the AFC South, I think, with the Steelers and the Ravens, all them. But I think Seattle's about to go, like, this dude, like, he said, like, man, that's the best defense I ever played in my life. We look good. It looked good on the stat sheet, like, you couldn't tell. But man, that dude's a genius. Like, that just tells you everything you know about Mike Macdonald. I think he's in for a big year. Or I think he's in for a special season. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what Seattle does. And I just wanted to say that because I think people are gonna see, and if you do, like, this guy's a real deal. And I think the league's they're gonna have like I think the league's in for surprises, just especially. I think like I said, Seattle's gonna have a Lions type run. I think nobody's talking about Seattle, and it's a shame. But man, they're a scary team. They have talent on both sides of the ball, and they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. It's already started, and just watch out, man. This guy's a real. He knows how to coach, and this is nothing. And even though he's only second, like, you couldn't tell the way he speaks, that kind of attitude he has after a win like that says a lot about him, man. And where he sees, and that guy's not doesn't ever get comfortable. He's always chasing to get better, and that's what the great coaches do. So I think Seattle is going to shock a lot of people, and I think they're number 10 for me. But I just want to say that right now that dude's going to have a special career in the NFL, and I think Seattle has one of the best coaches in the league. And we'll see I think people will see over time. We'll see, right? Now the game's got to be played to show that, right? But I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, Sean McVay doesn't compliment many guys, right? Coaches of that caliber don't compliment other coaches or the coordinator unless they really mean it. And to say that about McDonald and see what he's done, remember, he held the Chiefs 16 points in the AFC Championship game, right? So this guy's no slouch, man. Like, he the real deal, bro. So that went towards with Andy Reid and really gave it to the Chiefs. So that dude's a real deal, man. I'm excited to see what Seattle does. But yeah, Seattle's gonna ride on my top 10. Appreciate all y'all for watching and listening. Like, subscribe, comment. Y'all comment. I want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You can never learn. Great learners have to be great listeners. So I love to listen to other people have to say, and then see, okay, do I agree? What do I think? Like, process that myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give y'all the best, and I'm trying to educate y'all to the best of my ability, so y'all can see, my sports and stuff like that. So y'all can understand where I'm coming from. I understand why I feel the way I do. But I just want y'all to, enjoy the content. If y'all want me to do some other stuff content-wise, let me know. Comment's the best way. You comment, I'll be able to see. I'll be able to, if you got any recommendations, what you think about the video, anything like that, let me know. But again, I appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, comment. See you on the next one.